In this lecture, you'll learn how to use PostgreSQL create database statement to create a new database in PostgreSQL database server. The following shows the syntax of the create database statement. To create a database in Postgre, you need to have super user role, permission, or a special createDB privilege. When creating a database, the name must be unique. If not, Postgres will throw an error. When creating a database, assign a role that will be the owner of the database. If you omit the owner option when creating the database, the owner will be the role that you use to create the database. Also specify a template database from which the new database is created. By default, Postgres uses the template 1 database as the template database if you don't explicitly specify the template database. Also specify the encoding parameter. This determines the character set encoding of the new database. You also have the LC collate. When you specify this parameter, it affects the sort string of queries contained in order by clause. Its default is LC collate. Its default is the LC_C type of the template database. When you're creating databases, your database files must be stored in a table space, so you have to specify the table space for the new database. If not specified, the default will be the table space of the template database. When you specify the connection limit, it determines the maximum number of concurrent users that can be connected to the database at a single time. The default is -1. That means you can have unlimited connection. So if you specify like 100, then the maximum number of concurrent users will be 100. If you do not want to allow any connections to the database, then you can set the allow connection parameter to false. Another important parameter is the is_template. If the is_template is true, any user with a createDB privilege can clone that database. If it is false, only super users or the database owner can clone that database. When you're creating a database, if you don't specify these parameters, they will take the default of the template database. So let's take two practical examples of creating a database. We're going to be using two methods to create a database. First, we're going to be using the terminal with PSQL, and the second option, we're going to be using pgadmin. You can always check if your database service is running by typing service PostgreSQL and then status. Oh, I missed a T. So if you look carefully, it will say active and status success. So to access your database, you need to type PSQL on the terminal. First, we are going to create a database without parameters. So we're just going to use the create database command and specify the name of the database. To view the list of the databases, do a /l/l, and you should see the database listed out. If you look carefully, you'll see that the demo DB has the same parameters as the template 1DB, because by default, when you don't specify any parameter, it will inherit from the template 1 database. The second database we are going to create is that we are going to create one where we specify the connections. You see the same command, only difference is that you're going to specify a width and specify the parameters that you want to change. So let me hit enter, and my database is created. So if I do a / again, L, I should be seeing the new database that I just created. So I see demo param. Now let's head over to pgadmin and create a database using the graphical user interface. To create a database using pgadmin, right click database, over create, select database, specify a name for your database. On the definitions tab, this is where you can specify the different parameters. So I'm going to put 10 for my connection. If I wanted a different collation, then I could select another one. So I'm going to go with UTF-8. Now if I choose a different one and enable template and try to save, it will give me an error. Specify here table space. I'm going to use PG default. In another module, we'll be covering table spaces. On the securities tab, you can grant other roles permission to the database. You do that by selecting add and then expand security and select the role that you want to grant the permission. On the SQL tab, you'll see the script that will be used to create the database. As you can see, the width, the owner is Postgres, the encoding, the else equal late, the table space, the connection limit, and the is template. So I'm going to enable the template DB and change back the collation to UTF-8. Then select save. In the next lecture, we'll be taking a look at how we can modify and alter our databases.